Oh my goodness, everyone went quiet. The lights changed. I'm so delighted that you're all here. Thank you so much. Welcome to UC Open Summit 2026. My name is Kirstie Whitaker. I am the Executive Director for the Berkeley Institute for Data Science. We are a research institute inside of the College of Computing, Data Science and Society. And we have a mission to further interdisciplinary collaboration to benefit science and society, and also to convene and support and maintain the beautiful open source ecosystem in science and across lots of different research and education domains. So we house inside of BIDS our OSPO. I want to just let you know, I'm sure you already do because you're here, that this is our annual event of the UC-wide OSPO network, Open Source Program Office Network. We are currently run with OSPOs across 6 different campuses: Berkeley, Davis, UCLA, San Diego, Santa Barbara, and Santa Cruz. But one of our goals for this event and for future conversations is actually to see what needs to happen to welcome the other campuses, the national labs, and continue to engage with the staff and the incredibly important workers of the UC Office of the President, because one of our goals is a grassroots movement to support and enable people and connect people who are already doing wonderful work in open science, open scholarship, open access, open in its many different forms. But also, what if there were policies that rewarded this? What if we shifted some of those incentive structures? And so making sure that we engage at all levels across this incredibly powerful university network is a daunting but very, very highly motivating task. So on behalf of everyone across the entire UC OSPO network, we're delighted to have you here. Welcome. I'm going to read very briefly from the event, from the comms on the event, that this isn't just another conference. We hope that UC Open is genuinely enjoyable. We have a really fantastic program. We also have big, long lunch breaks. We have a reception this evening. We hope that you will meet others, that you will have a chance to brainstorm, that you will be able to spark some new ideas and deepen friendships that you already have. We are small but mighty, so we have limited capacity, but we have really, really fantastic people who are here. The registrations have been incredibly inspiring to watch as they come in. So we hope that we are confident that you will meet interesting people while you're here. And our goal is for this event to be warmly collaborative. So we have panel discussions, we have breakout presentations, we have 3 really, really exciting keynote presentations. But the metrics of success, when we were brainstorming as a team, what we think that a successful 2 days will look like is that all of you are talking with each other, maybe not while the keynotes are presenting, and sparking those new ideas. If you do meet anyone, if you do have any ideas or any collaborations that come from this, please tell us, because that is going to bring a great amount of joy to our hearts. I want to very quickly thank our sponsors. So the network is funded by a grant from the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation. So we're very, very grateful for their funding. AWS and Red Hat are our sponsors for the event. And then BIDS, as I introduced, the BIDS is a hosting sponsor as well. One of the component programs, and one of the programs that is also funding this event in part, is our AI Futures Lab. So I want to just take a moment to tell you about this collaboration that we have between BIDS and the UC Investments team, which are part of the UC Office of the President. UC Investments manage, those of you who work across the UC system, our pensions. They have a large amount of money that they are investing, and we are very motivated for them to be successful in their investing and diversify and make good bets in their portfolio. And the Chief Investment Officer of the UC is very motivated to think about how his team can benefit from the expertise that exists both on Berkeley campus, but also across all of the different campuses across and national labs. And so our AI Futures Lab is a physical space just a couple of blocks down, but it's also a digital space, and it is a collaborative opportunity for people to share knowledge openly and for the public good and for our bank accounts. I have a couple of housekeeping icons here, and we're all collectively going to see if I can remember what all of them mean. The agenda that's available to you, that's on the website as well. So there's lots of different ways that you can find it, but one of those is this little QR code here. I've put the Wi-Fi information on here as well. So network is Browser Center and the password is welcome bang 2150. We are recording the presentations. This is not a hybrid event, so there isn't anyone online, but there will be people who are watching the presentations on YouTube afterwards. We're very, very delighted that you're all here, but we know there are lots of people who can't travel all the way here or can't make it for the entire 2 days. And so we're recording those presentations. That means that if you are asking a question or if you're a speaker, please use the microphone, otherwise you will not be heard on the recording. And if you don't want to appear in any of those, please let anyone that has a yellow dot on their badge know, and we will review the recordings to make sure that you're not caught in any of those. We're also going to be taking some photographs of the event, and similarly, you can just tell anyone if you don't want to be part of those photographs, and we'll review those. My next icon is to let you know that yellow dots for the organizers mean you can come and ask us for help. We may not know the answer, but we know each other, and we will collectively be able to find out the answer for you. I've already told you that there is Wi-Fi and you can connect to it. I wanted to let you know our COVID policy. So some folks will be wearing masks. It's not required that you wear masks, but we're very supportive of people who do choose to. We ask that if you don't feel well, that you do stay away. So if you develop any symptoms, please stay away. We're recording the talks. You will experience some FOMO, but take care of yourselves and catch up later. And if you test positive at any point in the next few days after the event, please let us know so that we can pass that on anonymously, pass that on to the rest of the attendees. And then lastly, I just have a little symbol here to point you to our code of conduct, which is available on the UC OSPO network website. If you have any concerns, you can get in touch with our community manager, Laura Langdon, who is working really hard, but her email address is up there. We want to make sure that this is a warm and inviting space for all of you. My last point actually is that the restrooms, the bathrooms, there are some upstairs and there are some just down the corridor over here. They are all gender bathrooms, and so you can pick anyone that you want. Okay, I think I'm done. Welcome. Come and ask anyone with a yellow dot if you have any more questions. And please, can I pass over to Carolyn Caizzi of the UC Berkeley Library, who's going to just make a few opening remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Kirstie. Like Kirstie said, I'm Carolyn. I might echo a little bit of what Kirstie said. I'm going to say my really long title, I apologize. Associate University Librarian for Digital Initiatives in IT. And on behalf of the library, I did want to extend a really warm welcome. I'm really new to Berkeley, about 9 months. So when I heard we had an OSPO here, I was super excited and tried to plug myself in right away. It's really inspiring to see all of you here, researchers, students, industry partners, really to talk about the future of open source in academia. The Berkeley Library is a proud hospitality level sponsor. Essentially, it means you guys are all well caffeinated due to our contributions. We do know that the best ideas often happen in the margins of scheduled sessions. So please, over a cup of coffee, do try to connect. Again, we're really happy to kind of support that human infrastructure side of this event. Libraries have always been the original open infrastructure for centuries. Our mission has been around the democratization of knowledge. Today, that mission has evolved from physical stacks of books, don't know if you've been in a library lately, to really supporting digital ecosystems. We aren't just keepers of books, we're really partners in the entire life cycle of research. Just a quick plug, we have some fantastic librarians here in the audience. They run a bunch of data services for the library, so if you ever need help finding a licensed data set to do research or publishing your data in a repository, please do talk to them about that. I want to mention my personal journey with open source just a little bit, why I'm so interested in it. Before joining Berkeley, I was at Northwestern University Library, where I lived and breathed the library open source world, specifically within a community called Samvera. During my time with that community, I learned a really vital lesson that open source is really only 20% about the code. The other 80% is about the people, it's about governance, it's about sustainability. We spent years in Samvera figuring out how to build repository tools like Hyrax and Avalon, not just to solve a local problem, but to create a shared sustainable future for dozens of institutions, so that the open scholarly output of our universities would not solely be locked up in proprietary databases and technology. What excites me about the rise of OSPOs and that we have a network here at the UC system is that we're really elevating open source from a really decentralized technical task to a core strategic priority, one that is managed and governed as a fundamental resource of our institutions. So the organizers of UC Open 2026 have but that intentional small but mighty nature of this gathering. So they did build in these really long breaks specifically so we can have real conversations together. So find someone who is maybe working on a problem and you make a connection and realize maybe you should join forces and solve that problem together. Share a failure as readily as you share your successes. And it is that warmly collaborative spirit that really makes the open source community and the UC system here so special. So thanks for being here on Earth Day in the Brower Center, which I'm a librarian and had to look up the name and who Brower is because I didn't know. So yeah, I know, right? So pretty awesome. I was like, yeah, I learned something new today. I'm a librarian. I love learning things. So anyway, thanks for being here. And I hope we have a wonderful next 2 days.
Do you know what's so funny is obviously we don't ask everyone to share all of their comments and their slides in advance. I feel like you're going to hit the same story, everyone's going to say this wonderful point about people and sustainability as being so important and so much more than the code. May I please introduce my colleague, the Executive Director for the Berkeley Open Source Program Office, Jarrod Millman.
Good morning. So I'm very pleased that we're hosting the UC Open event at Berkeley. As many of you know, Berkeley has a rich and long history in open source, pioneering for the last 50 years. BSD Unix was released in 1978, and that's the original open source Unix. And the foundation for today's FreeBSD, NetBSD, OpenBSD, and macOS as well. In 1980, SendMail was released, which became, for the next several years, maybe decades, the main email transport library. Berkeley DB was released in 1991, which is an embedded database that is essential for open source development, even to today. Apache Spark came out in 2009, a distributed data engine that powers Databricks. And Ray came out in 2016, which is a distributed computing platform that powers Anyscale. And despite this rich history, we're still trying to figure out sustainability. And I think there's somewhat of a paradox at Berkeley. Despite this sort of rich history and legacy, we're just now, starting in 2024, trying to institutionalize and build a sort of community-wide across campus. And so with that, I'd like to welcome you to the UC Open 2026, where we're going to try to build the community to match our legacy. So how are we building that community? The Berkeley OSPO is not really a centralized service. What it is a hub for the whole community on campus, anyone interested in open source. And to sort of give you a sense of that, I want to talk about BIDS, which is really the beating heart of OSPO right now. Kirstie already introduced it. But one of the things that BIDS has done, or part of what it does, is it's connected me to a large community of open source leaders, interesting projects where I've learned a lot and grown. Leaders like Fernando Perez, who's our faculty director, who will be, I think, at panel tomorrow. Stefan Vanderwalt and Min Reagan-Kelly, who are longtime close colleagues of mine. I also like to call out Marian Husseini, who has over the last year become close connection and colleague. And finally, Matt Fisher, who's I'll mention in a second. So let me show you and then what I wanted to say is that the OSPO really aims to scale the BIDS energy across the UC campus. So let me show you what the BIDS energy actually builds. First, I'll talk about Scientific Python, which is more of an ecosystem. Many of us on campus have been involved with it for decades, but in 2000, or maybe it was 2001, my colleague Stefan van der Walt and I co-founded the Scientific Python project, which is an effort to coordinate a lot of the core foundational packages like NumPy, SciPy, scikit-image, NetworkX, scikit-learn, as well as a bunch of very functional domain stacks. We've also recently been thinking a lot about securing the ecosystem. So the Scientific Python ecosystem is a very decentralized, loosely federated collection of packages with their own governance, their own development process, their own developer community, often their own communication channels. And so security, though, is one of those issues that really crosses the whole thing because you're interested in supply chain security. So if any component of the ecosystem has a problem, that's an issue. So we're currently working on a safe OSC proposal that I'm today taking a break from working on. Then we've also increasingly been getting involved in the last few years with the wider Scientific Python community domain stack. So in particular, scikit-hep, which is the high energy physics domain stack for particle physics. It's what is now run on CERN and a lot of other places. PySail, which is a geospatial analysis library community. And also neuroscience through MiniPython and several others. We also are very involved with the Jupyter ecosystem and really have a BIDS infrastructure that's probably unparalleled in other universities. So Fernando Perez, our faculty director, is the founder, our co-founder of Jupyter, and is involved with many, many initiatives in this space. We also have Min Reagan Kelly, who, among other contributions to Jupyter, is really the lead founder of the Jupyter Hub collaboration platform. We also have Matt Fisher and Miriam Husseini, both involved with the GeoJupyter project, which is aimed at getting geospatial analysis and GIS stuff more accessible. And Miriam's also involved with the Tile2Net project, which is her project, which really is about providing pedestrian network information from aerial photography. And I think she'll be talking about that later today. I'd also like to mention our collaborator Ida Sims, who has the Jupyter Health Project, which is a UCSF Berkeley collaboration. And it aims really to provide patient data to doctors, especially from wearable data. So a lot of security issues and sort of ownership issues about your data and who owns it. And they also, I just want to point out, have recently won a Lord Moonshot proposal or funding, which is pretty exciting for us. And we also are increasingly trying to connect with the not just the network of UC systems, but also with the national labs. In particular, we have some close collaborations with the Berkeley lab through Lavanya Ramakrishna Strudel's project at LBNL, which is a research focused on scientific research software user experience. Yeah, so but even this incredible work, just that we're talking about at BIDS, that powers so much of scientific research and collaboration now, it's facing existential threats. Open source biggest challenges, I think, since the 90s are coming to us now. Increasing issues with burnout, security issues, and funding. And on top of that, generative AI is going to amplify this risk with some opportunities as well, which could be think as risks. So, you know, one thing is there are going to be huge amounts of supply chain attacks hitting research panels, packages. There's also going to be a lot of opportunity to figure out how to harness these tools for helping maintainers. But another worry I have is what the future generation of young people coming up, interest in how they're going to contribute to the open source. So in one way, I think, echoing Carolyn's point, and probably everyone else's point today, that I think open source has always been a lot more about community than code. And I think with the sort of the age of AI coming upon us, that may be even more true in the future. And so one of the ways we're dealing with that is with the UC OSPO network, and really trying there, again, to institutionalize the community, not the code. So finally, I just want to give a call to action, which is that, I'd love to talk to you about your projects, what your pain points are, what your plans are, what your needs are, and how BIDS and the UC OSPO can help. So please come and find me today or tomorrow. I'd love to get to know you and help grow this community. And I guess we have a little time if you want any questions. Maybe? No, okay.
Sorry, everyone. But please do ask Carolyn and Jarrod any questions. I do want to bring up Emily. Emily doesn't have a slide because this is a last-minute addition to the program to give a shout out about our lightning presentations.
Thanks, Kirstie. Hi, everyone. My name's Emily Lovell, and I'm the Associate Director for the UC Santa Cruz OSPO. And I'm here to tell you about one of my favorite parts of the event that was very popular last year, which is lightning intros. So what I'm holding here is a sign-up sheet that I will leave at the registration desk that you can go find throughout the day today. But we have a quick half-hour slot at the end of the day, right before the reception on purpose, where we invite you to jot down your name, and you will have like literally 1 minute to tell the room who you are, 3 pieces of information, like your name and who you are, what you are excited to talk to people about, and what you would like people to come talk to you about. So it's not a chance to give a 5-minute lightning talk. It is really just a quick intro for who you are so you can connect with the people you should connect with during the reception. So it's a lot of fun. I'm going to be ushering people off after 1 minute with a rubber chicken, just to like give you an idea of the vibe. So that's it. I will leave the sign up at the registration desk, and I did reserve 7 slots for folks who are presenting posters so that you especially have a chance to connect with people during the reception. So that's it. Thank you.